I've been reading One Piece since grade 7, and have been in love with it since then. Countless characters have hooked my interest throughout my experience in reading this series, but one has always captured my interest more than others. Roronoa Zoro has been my favorite character since I started reading this series. Rather it's his simple yet kind mindset, amazing fights, or interesting backstory, even if it's some SBS bullshit, he's always piqued my number one. But I am far from the first person to say this. There's a reason why Zoro is almost always in second place in every character poll. But why is that? Why is it that almost everyone can't help but love Zoro when they read One Piece? Well, I believe it has to do with three of the biggest parts of Zoro. His kick-ass fights that never disappoint, his simple goal and mindset, and his kind heart despite his sometimes cold demeanor.
I'm telling you, those people only took us in to capture us.
Now, Zoro has some of the best fights in the series in my opinion. His only bad one probably being him versus Lucci in Egghead Island, and even then we got our daily recommended dose of 6 Zoro panels, so I'm not complaining. His best fight in my opinion gotta be him versus Kaku. Like, it covers every single part of his character, his sick fighting style, kind heart that pushes him towards even greater heights of strength, and his comedic side as well.
It's like when you cram dough through a little hole and it comes out as noodles. Like a pasta machine. Pasta machine! Don't act like you did that on purpose!
Like, I still remember seeing Ashura for the first time and losing my mind at how it was like top 3 coolest things I had ever seen. Same goes for like everything he did in Wano, just chapter after chapter of some of the coolest things I had ever seen. However, as much as I love fighting, it isn't the only reason Zoro is my favorite. You see, Zoro is simple. Some might say that's a bad thing and makes him less of a character, but I think being simple is what makes Zoro, Zoro. He has a straightforward goal, and the path to his goal should be as straightforward as it gets. Get stronger, beat Mihawk, become the world's strongest swordsman. However, much like how Zoro will always get lost, he continues to take the least straightforward path possible to his goal. Because as much as he'll come off as cold, Zoro has a kind heart just like the rest of the Straw Hats. Rather it's him going for the kill on Appu after he saw Kiku's arm, or even him sympathizing with Wiper despite not knowing him. Zoro takes the longest way possible with the Straw Hats, not only because it will lead him to be the strongest version of himself, because Zoro will always go the way he's needed and not the way he wants.
Luffy, can you hear me? Yeah? I'm sorry for disappointing you. I know that you need nothing less than the greatest swordsman in the world. I've let you down. Please forgive me.
Okay, you can stop saying things now!
Big bro! I solemnly swear, from this moment forward, that I will never lose again!
Though his goal is simple, it does not mean it is easy. Zoro is probably the character we see working out and training the most out of anyone, with him always training especially hard after having a very close fight, like against Mr. One. Though I don't believe this is just because he thinks he's weak for barely being able to beat someone. I believe it's because in Zoro's mind, the strongest are the ones whose wills will be upheld. And if he's not the strongest, what will stop someone from beating him the next time and having their will surpass his? The exact moment that represents this the most is nothing happened. The moment isn't just a showing of Zoro's strength, but his weakness. The reason he tells Sanji nothing happened isn't simply because he doesn't want the crew to worry, but because he is struggling to accept the fact he's weak compared to their upcoming opponents. He doesn't want to acknowledge, despite his relentless training, his sacrifices, he still had to beg for his captain's life. The fact he was weak. This isn't just a moment of absolute strength, but a scene of denial of weakness. It isn't until he begs Mihawk to train him that he truly accepts his weakness, that he's ready to push down his pride and beg to be strong enough that no matter what, no one will crush his will and his dream ever again. That he'll be able to keep both his promise to his best friend and the promise to his captain. And seeing someone so strong accept the reality of being weak compared to others is one of the most motivating things I have ever seen. because it shows that only once you have accepted all your flaws, pride, ego, you can be able to truly put everything into your dream, doing everything you can to achieve what you desire most, taking your weaknesses and shattering them into strengths.
おい。なんだ。体が動かねえ。やめろ。止まれ。やめろ。
Now, the last thing that makes Zoro my favorite character is he shares one thing that almost everyone can relate to, a fear most have and most probably will have for the rest of their lives. Zoro is afraid of dying. Now, does he have things he's willing to die for? Yes, of course. His captain, his crew. We've seen him do this firsthand. But that doesn't mean he isn't scared. In Wano, after he defeats King, he's seemingly confronted by death itself, and he is terrified. A rare thing to see from Zoro. So why is that? Why is the simple man afraid of the inevitable? Because that's it. Zoro doesn't want to die. To Zoro, dying is the same as giving up, getting to a wall he can't surpass, and being unable to get over it, surrendering himself to death's arms instead of pushing forward. Like when he was defeated by Mihawk, he had given himself up and was ready to accept death by his hand, and he hated himself for it, saying he would never lose again, never again reach death's doors. Once again, with nothing happened, here he is approaching death's doors, but this time he denies it, not wanting to accept the fact he was nearly gonna give up his dream a second time. The reason why everyone can't help but love Zoro isn't just because he's cool or strong, and not even because he's always shown what true motivation looks like, but because he's human. He gets scared, he doubts himself, he struggles, just like everyone else in that way. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was great getting a chance to talk about one of my favorite characters, and I hope to do more stuff like this in the future. Please like, subscribe, comment what you thought of it, and I'll see you all in the next video.